Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I want to take a look at Twitter. And of course, Elon has taken over. He fired a lot of people, but there are still some problems. People have returned, return to Twitter, but got their accounts suspended again. And I want to really take a look at that. Also, I've made my own Twitter account. I just joined Twitter, so I'm going to leave it underneath this video in a reaction. I'm just going to see how long it will be up, but we'll see. And to me, it feels similar to YouTube in a way. And I'm not very technical, so this is the feeling I get, or at least how I see things on YouTube. If someone replies to my video, reacts to my video, they use certain words or they use certain links, it gets removed immediately by YouTube. And I don't think it's done by a person, but that's done automatically. I think they put in some algorithm that responds to certain words, certain links, and just removes it. So it's never really placed underneath. I don't get to see that reaction. And I had some people, of course, asking me, why are you removing my reactions? And I don't remove that. If it's some reaction, of course, like I said, if they're not very respectful, very disrespectful, I will remove them. But most of the time, I haven't even seen the reaction. YouTube already removed it. So it wouldn't surprise me at all because, hey, the Dark Energies knew Elon was going to take over, that they placed all kinds of codes in Twitter purposely to get rid of certain topics mentioned, certain names mentioned. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that it will take some time before they completely cleaned it up. And that also why they are going to wait to bring back other accounts, because they have still these backdoors that were placed there by the Dark Energies. And that's why he's probably got his engineers from Tesla, if I'm not mistaken, working to get rid of all these things still in there. So I don't think that if a Twitter account is suspended that it's actually done by Elon on purpose, but I think it's a likely possibility that the Dark Energies still have some things placed in there, so they will respond to that, to certain words, certain things used. So we'll see. I'm just going to get a card reading on Twitter. What is going on there? Or is this really the Dark Energies taking over anyway? But I'm going to take a look at Elon after this. But first the Twitter. Let's see. We've got the Three of Pentacles. The central card. We have the King of Cups. That's interesting. We have the Queen of Cups in the past. We have the Seven of Swords underneath the King of Cups. We've got the Eight of Wands for the future and the Eight of Cups. Very interesting. To me, this kind of represents what I was just talking about. Well, usually there is no coincidence there, but there are still some things that need to be worked out. Still some back doors. This is literally someone trying to walk away with something like, oh, they're not going to notice that we put that in there. So they're thinking they can get away with certain things. That's what this card represents. And I think the Dark Energies have placed certain things in Twitter in their codes, or like I mentioned before, I'm not that technical, but I'm sure they can place all kinds of things. And they've done that, and they kind of were laughing, like, well, it will take some time before they'll get it out of there. But they're working very, very hard to get that out of there. They are very aware that there are all kinds of things hidden in there. Wouldn't surprise me if they're going to see a lot of things about certain illegal things happening with other... how do you say this, with backdoors, like they've used Twitter and the Dark Energies have used social media for all kinds of planning and all kinds of things also related to children. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they're going to find out, and this is going to be brought forward. They will bring this forward as well. But I think they're working really hard to get everything out of there, just to get all these things out of there. And this is really what they want with Twitter, is like on a mature level dealing with things. So I do believe that this is really, and this is really very beautiful. We have the Queen and we have the King, and these are the cups. This is the element water. This is about connection. This is about openly expressing your feelings in a mature way. So I do actually feel that this really is a change for the good. And I do believe that Twitter will be more connecting people and be able to speak their minds in a respectful manner, but that everything is able to express themselves. All opinions are allowed if it's done respectfully and maturely. That's very, very important. That's what the King of Cups is about, dealing with your emotions, with your feelings in a mature way, and just dealing with things in a mature way. So opposite opinions should be able to just be expressed with respect towards each other and towards other points of views. And I think that's really what he's working towards, and that's really what Twitter is going to be about. Things are going to change very quickly. I do think they are really working very hard to get everything out of there. And they are moving away from these old systems, from these old things, from probably all these back doors they've got in there. It's all going to be exposed, and they're going to move away from this. So I do see Twitter as something good in that way. I think they're really going to help bring more truth, bring a balanced voice, and we really need that. We need to deal with people just in a mature way, in a respectful way, and I think that's happening. That's what they're working towards, and that's the energy I'm getting from Twitter. It's going to be changed. It will take some time. They don't got them, it's not going to be out in like a day. It's not going to be completely cleaned up in like 3 days. It will take some time, but things are moving very, very fast. So I think they're going to be moving away from that in quite, with a speed, a certain speed behind it, especially with the 8 of Wands. So things are moving fast for Twitter. So I think they're going to be cleaning up quicker than the dark energies will realize. So that's Twitter. I also want to take a look at Elon himself. Because let's face it, all things, it's in a way, is he a whitehead? Is he, of course, with Halloween, he came out as the devil's champion. He had this figure on his chest with, of course, a cross inverted, which is obviously a certain allegiance. So, of course, people were immediately saying, see, he's dark energies, they're just taking over in a different way. You get, of course, a lot of angry people responding to that. And I just want to take a look at Elon. To me, he is from a dark family. You have to realize that he is not like, he has dark energies. His mother is from a dark energy family. So he has these dark energies. To me, he feels like, oh, this is interesting. This one is flipping over. That's, of course, the Queen of Cups. Interesting. I do think he is quite sensitive. Well, I wouldn't have figured that one, but he's actually quite sensitive. And I do think in a way that he is from a dark background. There's no doubt about that. But I see him, especially with Twitter, that those are whitehead influences. So he's probably working with the white hats. That doesn't make him suddenly a white hat himself in a way. Doesn't change his background or his energy. It's possible he's even been switched. But I'm not going to look at that. I'm just going to look at his energy right now. But it's very important to understand that they probably have things on him. So he's now following their guidelines. Part of that guidelines, which you probably have noticed, is that he also needs to still show that dark agenda. That's also part of the white. The whiteheads want people to know what's been going on such a high level. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if it's possible that he just wanted to troll, because let's face it, he likes getting people riled up, so that he purposely put that on just to get people angry. He likes that. He likes the resistance. He likes riling people up. It's also possible that it's part of show who you really are and what your family is really about. You also have to realize that he, if I'm not mistaken, about a month ago, showed this new robot, if I'm not mistaken, at Tesla, to show also the people, the rest of the world, transhumanism is coming. It's part of the agenda. We need to see that. As humanity, we need to see how far they were going to take this agenda. We truly need to understand where they were going to take us. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's got that more jester energy, that he is really there to provoke people and to show things. So I'm just going to look at his energy. We've got the Page of Cups. Central card is the Eight of Swords. That's interesting for him. We've got the Magician in the past. We've got the Lover's card underneath the Eight of Swords. We've got the Knight of Wands. And we've got the Ace of Wands. Well, this is very interesting. He's not very happy himself, so I think he had to make choices. I think he was forced in certain choices. He had to make a choice. Something was offered to him. And I think it's the White, especially with these two cards in the near future. Something was offered to him, a certain deal. He's not very happy with it. So it's very possible that what happened with Halloween was like he just wanted to show himself in a way. But I think it fits with the agenda as well, to let people know, don't put people on a pedestal. Don't put these celebrities or these people with all these money on a pedestal. You have to understand where they really come from. But he had to make a choice. And he made a choice. I don't think he's that happy with that choice, but he made that choice. And he's following the lines of the White Hats. He's following that line. So ultimately he will follow the White Hat agenda. Doesn't make him a White Hat himself in that way. He follows the agenda, doesn't change his background or where he comes from, but it's almost like he doesn't feel like he has another choice. You have to understand that the dark energies kept people in place with all kinds of information they had on these people, or a way of keeping them in check with all kinds of things. The White Hats have found all this information. And in a way, they're now keeping these people in check with the same material, the same things they found. So it doesn't mean they have a change of heart. It means that they don't really have a choice. And it feels like Elon doesn't really have a choice either. He has to follow that line. And he was given a choice and he made his decision, especially with these cards. He has made the decision to follow the White Hat agenda. So it is very likely that the Halloween outfit it fits with showing the world, and it's also very likely because that's where he comes from. That is his connection, to be very honest. So he's just showing them. But he's in a way, he's like, this also feels like he's limited in what he can do. They've got a good grip on him. And I don't think he's that happy about it, but he's kind of working his way with it. Because in the past, he was way more, the magician, capable of doing all kinds of things, obviously, with the dark energies helping him. He was, of course, capable of, with what connected with him and expressing that. He's not capable of doing that now. So he is limited in what he can do. But he's now, it wouldn't surprise me if they just use him as a front. He's the one that bought it, and then the White Hats came in and they're starting to clean up Twitter, and it will take time because obviously the dark energies, like I've shown in the card reading before this one, done a lot of things, a lot of changes, a lot of backdoors. They've kind of trying to lock that out, or they're using some kind of things that will later on you can program things. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not that technical, but I do know you can put in all kinds of surprises. So they're really going through that. But for Elon, I think he made a choice. He switched. That doesn't make him a White Hat. That makes him, maybe a gray hat. But he's now following the line of the white hats, and I do believe that he will continue following it and making sure a new it will change the energy. This is a new beginning, especially with the Ace of Wands. So he will make sure that a new beginning energetically is possible because of that. I'd like to leave it at this. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.